Hi, guys. I just wanted to get on here a little early, so we will just hang out for the next few minutes and get started in about 10 minutes or so. Did you figure it out? Um, I don't know. I'm signed into Google right now. So it just pops up and there is a thing and there's a button, a play button, and you just click it and it says start. There is on mine, so you might need to sign into Google. Hi, everybody. I'm talking to my mom and getting her helped set up. So if you can hear me, that's why I'm on the phone with her. Okay. Okay, guys, we are going to get started in just a minute or two. Can you guys hear me okay? If you want to just comment in the box, if you can hear me, that would be great. Okay, guys, let's get started. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Please go ahead and type in the chat box if you have any questions as things come up. So you guys should be able to see my screen, and that is our presentation. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Let me just switch this to presentation mode. All right. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for joining me tonight. And we are going to talk a little bit about clean eating, what that is, and why we eat clean for the summertime. So first off, a little bit about me. My name's Katie Henry. I am a physical therapist and a health coach. And the really big thing that I am all about with the people I work with is learning how to put yourself first. And in my own personal journey through my own health, And my experience being a physical therapist and working a crazy job, ridiculous hours, and then having my own practice, I ended up running myself to the ground and getting sick and just fueling myself with things that I thought were healthy but really weren't. So lots of caffeine, lots of coffee, sugar, in general, eating decently healthy food, but just having so many other things that definitely were not necessary. And in my own journey, I tried a million different diets. And what I found is that a diet that works for other people may not work for me. And that I can't get so hung up on, well, this is what I should do, and I should do this, and I should do that. And I just learned that that wasn't going to be the thing that worked for me. If you guys are listening, if you could please mute yourself because I'm getting some feedback. So it's totally fine, but the other people that are listening might not be able to hear. So if you have your thing, just go ahead and mute it. All right, thank you. So anyways, it's really about finding what fuels your body, what fuels you right, and what makes you feel good. And that is what I am all about with the food and stuff. Mom, can you mute yourself?
Yay!
Please, please. Other people are listening. Please mute yourself. I can hear the TV in the background.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. So it's really about fueling yourself with food that makes you feel good. And in doing that, you really want to put things into your body that are going to give you energy versus things that are going to take it away. So, first thing I want you guys to think about is, how do you want to feel this summer? Do you want to feel high energy? Do you want to feel like you are light as a feather? Do you want to feel like you're like, yeah, I want to rock it in my bathing suit? Whatever you want. Is it that you just don't want to feel bloated and gassy all the time, and you want to sleep better, and you want to be able to enjoy the beautiful weather outside? So I want you guys to think about, you don't have to write them down, but just think about 4 things that you would like to get out of, this says this program, but it's really just out of your summer. Like, what do you want? Summer literally starts next week. So what do you want? How do you want to feel this summer? This is something that I have really been focusing on, especially in this past year, is focusing on how I want to feel and doing things that are going to make me feel that way. So if you want to feel energized and joyful and good, then do things that are going to make you feel that way. And the more often when you focus on how you want to feel, the easier it is to do things that may seem like goals and things like that. Whereas writing a to-do list and checking things off, believe me, I am a big fan of that. But if you do it in a way of, I want to feel X, Y, and Z, it can really have a huge shift in your overall health and your overall wellness and your overall well-being. So, in that being said, if you want to feel energized and like ready to rock, but you're feeling any of these 10 symptoms, your blood sugar feels off, so you get like shaky or really lightheaded or even dizzy at times. Your sleep is terrible, or even that you're getting what you think is a good night's sleep, like 7 to 8 hours, but you're still exhausted all the time. You have any sort of digestive discomfort with constipation, IBS, anything like that. You have headaches, bags under your eyes, or swelling throughout your body. That can be a sign that maybe your lymphatic system isn't working as it should. If you're having any like rapid weight gain or weight loss, that could be you're either retaining too much fluid or losing too much fluid. Any food allergies, digestive issues, or anything like that, and really just a lack of energy. If you're feeling any of these symptoms at all, it may be time for a little reset. So that's the way I look at clean eating and clean eating program. So clean eating is really all about putting something good in your body and fueling your body right. So it's about putting whole natural foods in your body, getting rid of toxins, the things that are bad that your body doesn't need, and then rebuilding your cells with what is good, with good nutrients in your body. The biggest thing that I say for clean eating is it's not a diet, because diets, honestly, they don't work. They don't stick. It's something you do temporarily. And in this way, I approach it more as it being a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle shift. We're going to talk about the clean eating program that I do, and that is a little bit more intense for between 10 to 11 days. And it's really 7 days of a little bit more intense. But the idea behind it is that you identify foods that trigger you, foods that make you feel good, foods that make you not feel so hot, and then identify, okay, this is what my body needs to feel good. So that's what this is saying here, where it says the program uses an elimination diet. So you're going to cut things out first to identify what could potentially be upsetting your system. Because if you're having any of those symptoms I just mentioned, with the lack of energy, any digestive issues, skin irritations, things like that, there could be something in your diet and what you're eating that is causing that. So if, as you cut stuff out and then bring it back in, you notice things returning, it may be some of the food that you're eating. There's lots of other factors, but that's one thing that plays a part in it. One thing about clean eating is, first off, let's picture me, and I just want you guys to say, like, don't take yourself too seriously in this. Like, I want this to be fun and I want it to be enjoyable for you, because you should enjoy your food. You want to eat something that makes you feel good. You want to use your food as fuel versus like, oh, I need to eat something. That being said, my approach to clean eating, it's not about counting calories. It's not about weighing your food, anything like that. It's not about taking so many things out and depriving yourself of things, feeling starving, taking pills and powders and supplements and all of those things. That's ridiculous. And that's something that's not realistic, that it's not going to work for long term in your life. And I really want to empower you guys to make changes that are going to help you long term. And that's what this is about. It's about cleaning and unclogging the pipes. So kind of getting things reset in your body, and eating for enjoyment, eating for nourishment. And I really like to say, fuel your body right, eating for fuel, because we eat, yes, we eat for nourishment, and we should eat for pleasure, but we also want the food to fuel us to get through our day-to-day activities so we can really live the life that we want to live. Other things about clean eating is that it really focuses on whole natural foods. So we are going to be cutting out some of the processed and refined foods, but if you think about it, those foods, I mean, half the stuff, if you can't even pronounce the ingredients, who knows what it's doing to our bodies? And I mean, like, I don't want to get too off on a tangent about that kind of stuff, but if you think about, like, what are we really putting into our bodies? So the more natural form that you can take the food in, the better. The other thing that clean eating is about is it's not about cutting everything out. Like, you're still going to have protein, you're still going to have carbs, and you're still going to have fats. It's just the types of carbs that you're going to have are going to be a little bit different in the beginning. And fat is not a bad thing. Fat is good. I'll talk about some good fats that are going to be beneficial for you. The other thing is that you will be eating a lot of vegetables, because there are so many vitamins and nutrients in the vegetables. And especially in the summertime, you're going to eat a lot of lighter vegetables, and then you are going to be eating more fruit. Because that's what your body needs. I'll talk about this in a little bit, but in the summertime, you really want to eat a lot of things that are going to be hydrating for your body. Aside from minimizing the processed food, you want to limit the extra stuff. So like excess salt, excess sugar, the bad fats, things that are going to clog your body up, clog your pores. Like, you don't need that stuff in you. And also, you want to keep your body moving, like internally with your digestive system, and then physically. Also mentally, you want to continue to move your body forward. You want to move things forward. So I'm just going to exit out the big thing. I just want to make sure everyone's doing good. Okay, perfect. We are all good. All right, so we are going to get into a little bit more detail about what the whole clean eating is, why we do it, and why it's good to do for the summer. So I mentioned this a little bit, but why we do clean eating is to really clean out our body, to get rid of toxins. The biggest thing we want to do is reduce inflammation. A lot of you guys are medical professionals that are listening today, and I'm so glad you guys are here because I think that we are people that do so much for other people, but we don't always take care of ourselves. And if you think about it, and a lot of you guys know that a lot of patients come in with symptoms, and a lot of them, the root cause of a lot of these things are inflammation. And inflammation can cause disease, metabolic issues, blood sugar imbalances, hormonal balances, fertility issues, sleep problems, anything like that, neurological issues. And so basically, the sooner we can reduce inflammation in our body, the better, because it's going to reverse some of those conditions that are developing in our bodies. Okay, so why do this in the summer? So a big part of the way I do clean eating is doing it seasonally, and that's because at different seasons, our body needs different things. So what you eat in the wintertime is not going to be the same thing that what you eat in the summer. And in the summer, you're kind of, well, this says kind of here, slowing down and taking a vacation from life. And you want to think about how you feel in the summertime. So you're usually a little bit hotter, you're a little bit more checked out in vacation mode. Your body is wanting to kind of slow it down and relax a little bit because it's so hot outside. And depending on where you are, it can be hot and humid. So keeping that in mind with what's going to happen in your body in the summertime is also reflective of the foods that you want to fill your body with in the summertime. So it's really good to, again, cleanse and detoxify and get all of the junk out. But the biggest part of food to eat for the summer is food that's going to be really hydrating for your body. So things like melons, berries, cucumbers, celery, lots of different fruits and vegetables that are very hydrating for us. Aside from being hydrating, you also want foods that are going to be very cooling. So foods that are going to lower your overall body temperature. You also want foods that are going to be regenerative for your organs. We're going to talk about a couple of the organs in just a second. So really, the main ones that you're going to be working with in the summertime are your heart, your small intestine, and your lymphatic system. And then, of course, your skin, in thinking of like sweat and sweating and eliminating wastes. So you want to eliminate the additional inflammation that is going to occur in your body because you're going to be having a lot of excretion as especially via sweating in your body. So if you have a ton of inflammation going on, your body's already going to have that inflammatory response. So that like hot, increased circulation, increased blood flow, all of that stuff. And then you add on the heat of the summertime, you're just setting yourself up for having your body be in even more stress than it needs to be. So that's why clean eating in the summertime with these cooling, hydrating foods can be very powerful. So foods that you're going to want to eat or focus on eating a little bit more during summer are green juices, different types of smoothies, good quality fats. So when we talk about good quality fats, avocado is my number one. It's so good. I add it to smoothies, I put it on salads, I add it with dinner, like I have it all the time. It's great. And then you also want to think about more seeds versus nuts. So hemp seeds, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, and especially in the first part of the clean eating program, you're having seeds, but no nuts. You add the nuts in later. You want good fats that are going to help detoxify your liver, and then a ton of water for optimal hydration. And it's the water you drink, but it's also those more hydrating foods that you're going to be eating. So you want to think about this like it's all about love, especially this is a total side note, but especially with all the things that are going on in our world right now. Like we all need a little bit more love. So why not eat in a way that gives yourself a little bit of love because there's just so much craziness going on in the world. So this is all about like kind of loving your body too. So in addition to what I just talked about, you want to eat foods that have a lower glycemic index. And that's just kind of getting rid of those unnecessary sugars that your body doesn't need. So, quinoa is fantastic. You can add in some flaxseed, which is a good fat. Cinnamon is really good. You can either add it onto, like, sprinkle it onto some of your fruit, add it into your smoothies, and that works really well to balance your blood sugar out. And berries are a low glycemic index fruit that are also very hydrating. If you're having a smoothie, you'll see in some of the recipes, if you guys do want to do the whole program, that there aren't really a lot of bananas in any of the smoothies. In fact, I don't think there are bananas in any of the smoothie recipes, but there's avocado. So use the avocado to make your smoothies a little bit thicker. And the bananas, I love bananas, but they have a ton of sugar in them. So if you're going to have a banana, you want a banana, a nanner, you want to have it later in the day versus having it in the morning with that high sugar content of the banana. So that's why a lot of the smoothies have berries in them. So you have the berries in the morning, and then if you want a fruit snack, then you can have the banana later on in the day. Okay, so I talked about the heart a little bit, and summertime is really a cleansing time for the heart. And again, a lot of you guys know this stuff already, but if you think about it, if your heart is healthy, your body is going to be healthy. When your heart stops pumping, there's not really much going on. You need your heart to beat to survive, right? But you also want to think about your heart can still be beating, but there can be a lot of unneeded stress on your cardiovascular system in your body. So whether it's your circulation, whether it is your blood pressure, whether it is your arteries are a little bit clogged and you have atherosclerosis or any form of early heart disease, any of that stuff is going to make your heart have to pump harder and work harder. So if you can help with the circulation and blood flow, it's going to help with a lot of things. So here it says some of the symptoms that can go back to any kind of circulatory issues are constipation, varicose veins, headache, lack of energy, any of that stuff. So if there's anything clogged in your heart, like, I mean, technically through the anatomy of your heart and your cardiovascular system, that can have one piece, but there can also be emotional blocks on your heart. So if you're holding any stress, any tension, any pain, suffering, anything like that in your heart, in your heart space, that can also cause some of these other symptoms that I was just talking about. So if you think about how your body reacts to stress, if you're stressed, your body goes into the immediate fight or flight response, which increases your heart rate. So that's going to increase the stress on your heart and increase the stress on your cardiovascular system. So it's really important to take a step back, slow down, breathe, eat foods that are going to be heart healthy, but also take care of any of those blocks that are happening physically and emotionally, because when you have those blocks, things can't flow in your heart, but also flow in your life. So you want things to think about letting things flow kind of from like a metaphorical standpoint, but also physically. You want things flowing and moving in your body, because if anything is backed up, that's when you have different symptoms: headache, the lack of energy, the constipation, bloating, gas, any of that kind of stuff. So eating clean helps to kind of, like I said before, unclog all of those pipes in your digestive system, in your cardiovascular system, get things moving, get things flowing. And when your heart is healthy physically, it's going to help your emotional well-being as well. So they are really linked. I'm a huge fan of like the mind-body connection and stuff, and I don't want to go into that too much, but different types of emotional blocks can really affect how your body is functioning physically as well. They are very interrelated. So that's all I'm going to say on that before I go too much off on a tangent. The other thing that clean eating for the summer works on is the small intestine. So a lot of your digestion occurs in your small intestine, but the most important part of your digestion that occurs in your small intestine is absorption of nutrients. So you can eat really good food, but if your small intestine is not absorbing anything, it doesn't really matter. So if you have, if you've heard of leaky gut or anything that has affected your gut permeability, which the biggest thing that causes that is inflammation, then the nutrients that are supposed to be absorbed in your small intestine aren't being absorbed there. Therefore, they're not going through your bloodstream, through your cells, and providing you with the energy that your cells and your body needs. Therefore, nutrients don't get absorbed, and it leads to all the symptoms we talked about before: decreased energy, dry skin, infections, fatigue, constipation, all of those types of things. So you want to make sure that things are flowing well in your body and that things are getting absorbed in your body. So the small intestine and the heart are two really important organs that we are fueling our body with. So the foods that we eat for the summertime are going to work with our small intestine and our heart. So a very anti-inflammatory diet that's going to help decrease any pressure on your heart. And then also making sure we're having very nutrient-rich foods that are going to be absorbed into your digestive system. So I'm going to touch a little bit on juicing. I personally don't have a juicer. I don't make my own juices, only because it's a lot of work. You have to buy a ton of vegetables and you put it through the juicer, and then you get like a very little bit of juice, which again is great for some people. Some people love it. Juice away and make your own juice. That is totally fine with me. I personally, if I want a juice, I'll go buy one. I'm also, though, if I kind of mentioned this a little bit before, but I am not a fan of like a total juice cleanse. Like I need to chew my food. So I also think chewing is very important, because that's where your digestive process begins, is mastication in the mouth with your saliva starting to break down your food. That being said, juicing can be a great way to get some of those nutrients in your body right away. So like I says here, it kind of gives your digestive system a little bit of a break, because you don't have to chew it, and it allows for the nutrients to be absorbed a little quicker. So you can make your own juice. It's just, honestly, I personally don't think it tastes very good, but some people love it. So you can take 20 ounces of water, add in a tablespoon of either chlorophyll, wheatgrass, or spirulina, which those are all grasses. I actually have liquid chlorophyll that I add to smoothies all the time. So this probably actually wouldn't taste that bad to me. And I've had it in some variation before. So you add a tablespoon of that. I would suggest chlorophyll in 20 ounces of water with lemon. And then you just drink that. And that could be your form of juice. Or like is shown here, you can make your own juice. So this is called Clean Love juice. There's cucumber, kale, cilantro, celery, and lime. So if you look at the cucumber and the celery, two huge, very hydrating vegetables that are going to produce a lot of juice. So you can have that in the juice form, or you can eat the cucumber itself and the celery itself. So it's really like whatever you prefer. If you're going to juice regularly, I would suggest investing in a juicer. They're not cheap though. So that's totally up to you. If you guys have questions about that more, let me know. I personally am a bigger fan of smoothies. I love smoothies, and they're fantastic for detoxification. Because the smoothies are liquid, they are, again, a little bit easier for the digestive system, and the nutrients can be assimilated and collected in your body a little bit more. But I also like to make my smoothies thicker, and I eat them with a spoon because I also put a lot of seeds in my smoothie. Like, I'll make a smoothie, put it in a bowl, put some seeds and some like blueberries on top, like this picture shows, and then I'll eat it with a spoon because I kind of want to chew mine. That's just me personally, because if I have it through a straw and I drink it, I'll drink it really quickly and be like, "Oh shoot, I'm done." But again, that's just me. So any blender really works for smoothies. I think some of the higher grade blenders are great. You don't need a Vitamix to make a good smoothie. I have a Ninja, and it's like a third of the price of a Vitamix, works just as well, is fantastic. I mean, you can get a NutriBullet for like 30 bucks. Those work great too. So some of this stuff, like, you don't need to get the ridiculous expensive equipment. I personally am all for like what is most economical, because you want to use it. So if you have this ridiculous thing, like, and you don't use it, what's the point? But I think smoothies are a fantastic way to get a lot of fruits and vegetables in, and good healthy fats. The other thing that's nice is you can make a giant blender full of smoothies and make smoothies for 3 to 5 days. Put them in mason jars, put them in the freezer or the fridge, and then it's just grab and go, and you have a healthy breakfast. And it's so easy. And you can get a ton of nutrients, a ton of energy from the smoothie. So again, in the clean eating program, there are a lot of smoothie recipes. Some people love, some people are like, man, I don't like that one. If you find one that you love, you can eat it every day. Totally fine. So I talked about this a little bit when I talked about your heart health, but you also want to think about when you're talking about eating clean and, taking care of yourself and all of that, you also want to think about ways you're going to relieve stress. Getting adequate amounts of sleep is huge. There's so much research on the importance of sleep, and we'll just leave it at that. You can try breathing techniques. I have taught some of you guys box breathing. So that's inhale for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then hold your breath for a count of 4. So that's a little bit more controlled. It can simply be just breathing deeply in and out. If you try to breathe in a little bit longer, like 4 to 7 seconds, and then breathe out for that same amount of time, that can also be extremely powerful. Even just taking 5 deep breaths before you go into any stressful situation can be huge. I personally do it before I go into any difficult clients or difficult patients. And it's not always the patients, it's the family members that I work with that can be stressful. But if you take a few deep breaths, lower your heart rate, lower your cortisol levels, and just like get everything chilled and relax, you're going to approach that a little bit better. So same thing, especially as something new, like, I don't know what this eating stuff is, and don't get stressed about it, just breathe. Other fantastic stress relieving techniques are baths. Giant fan of baths now. Try to take one once a week, but if you add in Epsom salts, and there are some essential oils that are fantastic, but together, the Epsom salts and the essential oils also help with the cleansing and detoxification process that your body is going through with this clean eating. So it helps to kind of get rid of all of the bad stuff. I'm a ginormous fan of music. So any music that kind of helps you relax. And I know for some people that may not be like slow, easy music. It may just be like hip hop or Eminem or something that you can just kind of like rock out to and zone out. So music can be a very powerful tool. Meditation and journaling, huge, 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 getting you in the right mindset. And prayer, whatever that is for you, whatever you believe in, but believing in something higher than yourself, and knowing that you don't have to be in control of everything, and you can release some things and let things go and leave it up to that higher power, God, Buddha, whoever you believe in, the universe, whatever it is for you. But know that you don't have to do it all yourself. Speaking as someone who felt like that for a long time, you don't have to do it all. So know that do your best, and really we're all just doing our best. So that's all I have to say about that. Um, Exercise is a huge supporter when you're thinking of eating clean. So you think of exercise as a way to boost your energy. I personally talk about exercise and doing something that brings you joy. So something that is fun for you. So I'm a huge exercise fan. I love, like, some days I go for a run and it makes me feel fantastic. Some days it's yoga and it's not even for the exercise, it's more for the peace of mind. And then sometimes I need like a high intensity class, spinning, soul cycle, all of that stuff. Um, and sometimes it's just going for a walk outside in the sun. So it doesn't have to be the same thing every day, but find a way to move your body in a way that feels good. If it helps you to have like an accountability partner, go for a walk with your husband or wife, meet up with your friend, go for a walk, go to a class, whatever works for you, find that and do it. Find a way to move your body each day. And especially when you're doing all of this clean eating and getting rid of all of the bad stuff in your body, the more you can keep your body moving, physically as well as internally, the more changes you're going to have. And that being said, that you're eating clean, you're still going to have enough, you're eating plenty of food, you're still going to have enough energy to go out and exercise and work out. And those of you guys that know me well, I have some days where I'm really, really active and I can eat on this clean eating program and still do all of those activities. So it's not like I've done other things before. I'm really thinking of like a juicing or even other diets where you cut out so much food that you don't have enough energy to get through your day. And that is the complete opposite of how I want you guys to feel in doing this. So please know that you will never feel like that. So these are a couple more foods. They're superfoods that are even more energizing. So bee pollen, you get, it's looks like little pellets. They're yellow. And that is going to give you a bunch of energy. Raw cacao, you can get it in the powder form or a hard form. It's very bitter, but it's something that can be great to add to smoothies or anything like that for a little bit of a treat. Coconut oil, huge, huge fan. Some of you guys have done, who just did the program in the spring, know how fantastic coconut oil can make food taste. You put a little coconut oil on some sweet potatoes or on some green beans, and it just totally changes the flavor. And you're getting the good healthy fats, and you're also getting a little bit of that sweetness from the coconut. It's fantastic. So grasses, like I said before, the wheatgrass, barley, or spirulina, or chlorophyll, those are things that you can get you can get some of them in liquid form or in a powder form that you can mix and kind of make your own juice, or you can add it to juices and smoothies. Coconut water is very hydrating. Some people don't love it because it is sweet, but it's really hydrating. So that can be fantastic for the summer. Avocados, they just keep coming up. They're great. Those of you guys that are on my newsletter, I just wrote about how much I love avocados a couple weeks ago. So they're the best. Kale, any dark leafy greens, so kale, spinach, collard greens, anything like that is going to rainbow chard, all of that kind of stuff. Tons of antioxidant, tons of nutrients. They're just great. So any dark leafy green is great and very energizing, as well as flaxseed or flax oil. If you get flaxseed, get the whole seed, because that's what is the more digestible form. If you get ground flaxseed, the ground part, it gets rid of a lot of the benefits of the flaxseed. So you want to eat it in the whole seed form. This is just a little separate thing, but knowing that practicing gratitude each day can really help you get in the right frame of mind. Very positive. It's a very great way to focus on what's good and focus on what you're grateful for. And it will also aid in detoxification, again, physically and mentally. Think about what you're grateful for. I personally like to do this each day. It usually happens in the morning, whether you write it down or say it to yourself. Like I said, you can either do it in the morning or at night. But just start with gratitude and be thankful for the amazing things that we do have in our life. And that'll shift you out of a scarcity mindset, like, oh, I'm not enough, I'm not able to do this. Or even like with this whole program, like, this is really hard, I don't think it's something I can do. Start with the positive and be grateful for the fact that you have the opportunity to try something like this, or the fact that you're able to eat food, you're able to cook food for yourself. Um, and starting in that frame of mind is a huge, very powerful shift in your mindset. Okay, so um, a little bit about what clean eating is, why it's good for the summer, and I want you to know that there can be a huge, huge shift in your body, in your mentality in a short period of time. And you can, eating this way can really detoxify, get rid of a lot of stuff in your body and shift your energy. Please know that you'll never starve. You'll never feel deprived. Those of you that have done the program in the past, you get tons of recipes. You don't even have to try them all the whole time, and you have those access forever. I give you daily tools. I guide you along the way, and you're going to make massive shifts in your overall health, but it's taking little baby steps. It really is easy to do naturally when you have support. So some of you guys may be like, okay, Katie, I've heard all of these things before. Like, I can probably do this on my own. And that's true. You probably can. But when you have support from somebody and you have a community of people that are going through it with you, it makes it so much easier. And it also makes you feel like, number one, you're not alone. And if there are any questions or any worries or anxieties about anything that you're feeling, or you're like, I don't know about this food or what this is, like, you have a community of people that are going through it with you. And know that you have support from a professional who understands and cares about you, your needs, and your well-beings. I genuinely care about everybody that I have worked with. And even just the fact that you guys are listening to me today means the world, means the world. I want you guys to learn how to choose food that makes your body feel good. And look at food as nourishment, as energy, and giving you the ability to do things that you want to do in your life. Know that you'll always have enough calories. You'll feel satisfied. You're going to eat delicious food. And you're just going to feel good. Like I said, I believe in adding healthy food in and not depriving yourself of it. I don't want anything to be extreme. In that being said, it is a little bit more strict in the beginning. The first few days, you are cutting out gluten, limiting your sugar, limiting your caffeine, cutting out eggs and stuff like that. So the first week, you're eating a lot of vegetables and protein and fruits. That's how it is. But you have to reset your body in some way. So it's going to be tough for a little bit, but know that it's not going to be like that forever. And the other thing is that what you are eating tastes good. It really, really does. And think about it in a way that you're working towards revitalizing your body and resetting your body so that you can just be feeling good all the time. Because, I mean, really, like, that's what we want. So it's broken down into two different phases. This says detox. I should have taken the word detox out. That word like makes me cringe. But it's I would say cleansing, like, it's getting rid of foods that are going to irritate your system, consuming healthier whole foods, cleaning your body of toxins, and getting rid of all of that stuff. And then the next 4 days are transition days. We are slowly reintroducing foods, back into your diet and seeing how your body reacts. So when I say allergic reaction, I mean, like, you start to notice any symptoms.
cough, congestion, headaches, digestive issues, or anything like that. So as you add different foods back in, you just want to see how you feel. So if you added eggs and you're like, oh, that made my stomach hurt a little bit, or I felt a little off today, then just like make a note to yourself, eggs, question mark, might not want to eat those all the time. And then you start to add gluten back in and you're like, oh, I'm totally fine. Then you say, okay, gluten, good to go. And then you add other things back in. So looking at it as finding foods that are kind of that ones that set you off. And that way, you know, you don't have to totally cut them out of your diet, but you maybe just want to limit them and not eat them as much. So here's just a little testimonial from somebody that has done the cleanse. Full disclosure, this is actually from my mom who wrote this, but she's had like fantastic results. And there are a lot of other people that have had basically very similar results from this. Everyone has said like the food is fantastic. It tastes really good. I have more energy than I thought. I thought I would have all these caffeine withdrawals and headaches and things like that. And no one has had that. Or maybe it's like a day or two where you're feeling a little off, but that's when the detoxification is happening and the cleansing is happening. And then people have like amazing weight loss results too, which is pretty great. Okay, so like I said, the program is in 2 phases. You're going to get a guide that has pretty much everything you need. It has information about just the detoxification process that's going to be occurring in your body, cleansing. It also talks about, I give you guys tools of different things to use to increase the benefits of it. So I talk a little bit about like tongue scraping, skin brushing, those types of things. You get a shopping list for the food for each week. You get recipes for each week. You get handouts, tons of additional support. You get a Facebook group that I am in and active in every day. And that other people that are doing the program are into, where you can ask questions, bounce ideas off of people, and everything like that. So I want to talk to you guys about the investment in the program and then see if you guys have any questions. So the investment is normally $127, but I'm going to give you guys a special pricing for listening to the webinar where it's only $97. And you can actually go directly to my website, to the shop page, and click on the button that says add to cart. I wanted to change that, but PayPal like wouldn't let me. And what you do is when you click add to cart, it goes directly to PayPal and you can pay for it there. So that's through www.startingsmartwellness.com/home/the shop. But if you go to my website, startingsmartwellness.com, click shop, and then you'll see the 11-day clean eating program right there, and you can add it. So something new that I am doing for this season, for the summer, is offering additional coaching with me in addition to doing the program. Because some people have said, this was great, but Katie, I need a little more help, a little more one-on-one help. So for those of you that feel like you might need a little bit more, there's 2 different options. So you can get the clean eating program, and then you get one-on-one coaching session with me. And the investment in that is $197. Or you can get the VIP, where you get 3 coaching sessions. So that's one before the clean eating program starts, one at the end, and then a month after that, where I kind of, I'm going to check in with you after you've done the program, set you up with a plan for the next month, and I'm going to follow up and see how you're doing with that. So that's $497. And again, the values of that are extremely higher than that because you're getting individual one-on-one coaching time with me. So I really just want to first off say thank you guys so much for doing this and listening to me. And if you do decide to do the program, know that you are coming into a community of people that is full of love and support. I do this because I am passionate about it, because it's something that I wish I had in my life years ago when I wasn't healthy. And I just really want to help people be healthier so that you can live a life that you really enjoy, and you putting yourself first, because I know a lot of you guys are givers, healers, caregivers, moms, healthcare workers. You put other people first every day in your life. I do it too, but it's time to take care of yourself and do something for yourself. It's really, really, really important. Um, and I saw this little quote, and I think it's so true. If you want something you never had, you have to do something you've never done. So if you've never done something like this, know that that's not a bad thing. It's okay. If you guys have questions, you can email me, Katie at startingsmartwellness.com. You can check out my website and email me through that. You can join the Facebook group. Here it's called Starting Smart Wellness Warriors, and I will get you guys to be a part of the group. If you guys sign up today, I'm just going to go stop the screen sharing and come bring back my face so that you guys can see me and we can chat. Um, you if you sign up, as soon as you sign up, I am going to email you all of the information. So you're going to get a bunch of documents. So you're going to get a PDF of all of the recipes. You're going to get a shopping list. You're going to get kind of what's called a week at a glance. So it has just a suggested list of the foods and meals that you want to have. So like, day one, this is the suggested smoothie recipe or whatever, and the dinner, and know that you can exchange things. Or if you're looking at it and you're like, I don't know, that doesn't sound too good for me. I know there's some days, like there's this berry smoothie that I love. I end up usually having it most mornings. The other thing I want to tell you guys is that I do the program with you. So I'm going to be doing this whole thing with you while you're going through it. So I can, I'll say things like, hey guys, today I ate this, and like, I feel fantastic, or like that salad wasn't really doing it for me today. How are you guys feeling with this? Maybe we should throw an avocado on it. It's my default go to, throw an avocado on things. But know that, you're going to have all of the information before it starts. So it starts on Monday, the 20th, June 20th. But I will send you guys the information. If you get it today, I'll send it to you right away today. Or later tonight, probably honestly tomorrow morning. But you'll have all of the stuff and be able to go shop and get all of the food in advance. And so if you have questions about any of that, just let me know. And know that like you guys have, I'm here for you. I'm a resource. If you have more questions, if you aren't sure if you want to get it or whatever, and you want to talk to me more about it, that's totally okay. I'm happy to either talk to you via email or jump on a quick phone call with you to explain things a little bit more, because I know I gave you a lot of information and it's a lot to digest all at once. So if you have questions, just let me know. If you guys are in the Facebook group, you can post the questions there. If you want to be a part of the Facebook group, reach out to me, email me, or you can search for the group on Facebook and just request to join, and I will approve you guys to be a part of the group that way. And that's just like a great community. I post things in there all the time. From recipes to, on Monday, I just did a meditation thing. So there's lots of different things that I put in there. It's all free resources for you guys, and know that that is always there for you. Whether or not you do the program, you can be a part of that group and get free information from me all the time. I'm honestly, I do this because I want to help people, and I would do it all for free if I could, but unfortunately I can't do everything for free. But know that the group is there for you guys, and it's all for you, and that's what it's about. So if there are any additional questions, some people had stuff about the recipe, so I hope that answered your question for that. If you guys want to see, and actually, you know what I could do if you want, is I can pull up For those of you guys who are still on, I can pull up what the program actually looks like. Why don't I do that for you so you guys can see what some of the information is? So let me just pull that up for you, and then I will share my screen again so you can see what it looks like. So, okay, so for example, this one is do do do. Okay, so let me share my screen again for you guys real quick. Okay, so this is the clean eating program. So you're going to get, this is just all of the recipes. So you can see here that there is a whole table of contents with tons of recipes. Oh, maybe it would help if I was scrolling on the right one so you guys could see it. Okay, here we go. So this is like what the whole cleanse and clean eating thing is. So you're going to get information all about like why we do it. So a lot of the information that we had today, I'm just scrolling through this quickly so you guys can see how much stuff you get. Um, Again, this is all talking about it. It's about like what foods that you can have, different like milk products and things you want to do non-dairy milk, so almond milk, things like that. Some of the healthy fats that I was talking about. Um, Coffee, like you want to cut coffee out in phase two. Phase one is like a prep phase. Phase two is that first week. And you can bring the coffee back in phase three, eliminating additional sweeteners and things like that. But you can have like regular sweeteners like honey and stevia and stuff. And then foods that you don't want to eat in the beginning are coffee, alcohol, nuts, dairy, gluten, corn, those types of things. Know that you can eat protein, so you can have meat, fish, seafood, all of that kind of stuff. And so this is what I was talking about, suggested meals. So there's like your breakfast is the berry bomb smoothie. These berry bomb smoothies are awesome, really good. The chia seed pudding is really good. I know a lot of people that really like that. Um, so for lunch, you can have the berries in a box with the pesto. And let's say, oh, you really like that. You want to have it multiple times, or maybe you want to have the salad in the jar a couple days and you make a couple of them. You can totally do that. Same thing with like, ooh, the cauliflower mash with peas and sweet potato. That's good stuff. So, that's kind of what it looks like in the beginning. And then know that you can add protein to any of these meals. So like lunch and dinner, you can throw on chicken, you can throw on steak, you can throw on fish, whatever you want. Add that to any of those things. And then it goes through a shopping list of what you need to buy, all of the foods, and how much. Like this is the stuff that I'm like, oh, this is really helpful to have. Like, okay, you're going to need a half a cup of frozen berries, so get like 1 pound of berries or something like that. 8 lemons, at least 2 avocados. I would up that and get more avocados because I put them on everything. But it really shows you like the foods that you're going to need. Some of these things, like some of the condiments and things like that, like don't over stress about needing every single little piece. If you leave a few things out, that's totally fine. And then, yeah, then it talks about the next phase. That's when you add more stuff in and like that. So this is just one document that you guys get. So you can see that you get a lot of stuff. So, um, are there any questions? Again, like I will answer any questions you guys have if you have them now, or if you want to email me them, that is totally fine. Any questions?
Are you laughing at me?
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, check out the website if you want to get set through that way. You can email me and I can send you an invoice, whatever works best. And If you're not interested, please join the group so that you can get information and just learn more. I'm just really grateful for you guys tuning in, and thank you so much. Um, Again, it's Katie Henry, in case you forgot my name. That's me. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night.